Hello, fellow Dragon Ball Super fans. This is Tech Jadis, and today I want to talk about Dragon Ball Super Manga. Now, I have been avoiding the manga like a plague since Super came out. First, not wanting to get spoilers that I'd rather see animated in an anime form, but then again, because of maybe some harsh criticisms that I've heard of it. So, I kind of want to go in. I can't say I'm not going to be completely biased because I've heard quite a bit of things about the manga, but I'm going to try to give it about as level-headed of an approach as I possibly can. And thank you for Steel Super Saiyan for suggesting this. It was a great idea, and I'm going to start off at the beginning, even though you suggested that I should start off at the first tournament. It's only 5 chapters, but I think I can do about 2 chapters at a time, unless there's nothing to say in a chapter, and then I can stretch it. But for the first one, I think I might want to just stick with 1, just to kind of get a good pace going. So our manga starts off with a recap of what happens at the end of the Buu saga. They don't go into the time skip, because this is supposed to take place, the Super series is supposed to take place before that. So it's kind of nice to kind of show you exactly where they're leaving off when it comes to the Z series. But when looking through this issue, I am curious of how much translation errors that I'm getting. On the left side of this panel it says, Frieza, Cell, Majin Buu, just how many times has Goku saved the Earth now? Well, I mean, technically speaking, if you're counting those 3 things, then that's 0. He didn't kill Frieza, he let him survive long enough to get to Earth, so Trunks had to take care of it. Cell? He teleported him off and saved it in that aspect, but Cell didn't die, Cell came right back. So that was completely in vain. Majin Buu destroyed the Earth, so 0. How many times has Goku saved the Earth? 0. Great. I'm not sure if that was translated correctly, because it's... Or did they forget? I don't know. I don't understand why they wrote that on the side. It's nonsense. In any case, I do like the illustrations of kind of a reminder of what happened in the past. That's cool. I like that. It kind of brings back old memories of the good old days. Now, according to the first actual panel of anything happening in the Super's timeline, we have it stating that a days and months passed by. They don't say a full year, so keep that in mind when coming to the idea of how long that wish that they used from Namek's Dragon Balls for Goku back in the Buu saga. Just keep that in mind, because I think that it's going to be utterly abused or forgotten about in the manga. But Goku spends a lot of time with Goten in this issue, and I really like that. It's really nice to see Goku and Goten together. They kind of have a cool father and son dynamic. And this is something we were never able to see in Z. So now that we've gone through so much of Super, and I've seen how much time Goku is not spending any time with Goten whatsoever, it kind of bums me out, because he has all this opportunity, and it's completely wasted. But yeah, Goku spends the beginning of this manga trying to sort out his money problems. Apparently he needs a job in order to pay the bills. But instead of working, he still has that boyish heart about him where he just wants to kind of do what he wants to do. He wants to play around and eat and stuff like that and train. Even tells Goten, he's like, yeah, I kind of have to have a job where I can train on the side, because, I mean, he states that there may be somebody super strong that could come out and, like Buu, so he wants to be ready. But at the same time, that kind of leaves open a kind of a plot hole. Goku stated in the Buu saga that like Trunks and Goten were the future because of how ridiculously powerful they were at that time. He did the same kind of thing with Gohan. He's like, look, Gohan was super young, he trained with us, and he got to our, he brought himself up to our level. This dude is the next big thing. But when that didn't work out, he kind of said the same thing about Trunks and Goten. He's like, yeah, look how little they are, and look, they're Super Saiyans even faster than frickin' Gohan. They've got to be the next big thing. Heck, and if we can teach them fusion, they are the next big thing. I don't have to worry anymore. I can go to the afterlife, and breathe easy, because you guys got this. But now that he's back, he's like, forget all that. Just kidding. It's me. It's all me. I got this. I'm gonna be the guy. Even though he's already died twice trying to be the guy. And instead of just thinking maybe I should have a plan B, it's no plan B. Just me. It won't happen again, I promise. So, whatever, I guess. Let's just forget about anything, all those things that happened in Z, because it's Super now, Super time. So Goku does some kind of like imaginary training, fighting Frieza, fighting Cell, trying to knock Frieza out of Super, because he doesn't belong in Super. Forget you, Frieza, knock your head off. So Goku and Goten, they seem to understand each other pretty well. And I like that. I just like seeing them together, right here. And I don't understand why there wasn't more of this. I mean, could you have imagined if they actually would have stuck to the plan where Goten and Trunks were like the next big thing? And then it would have been more along the lines of Goku and Goten sticking together and always training. Just imagine. There would be never a time when Goku trains where Goten's not there with him training. And then the same thing with like Vegeta and Trunks. And then suddenly, Goku and Vegeta's big rivalry is actually, like, put down upon their kids, Goten and Trunks. Like, even though they can fuse together and become, like, the biggest thing ever, that would be where the rivalry would lay. And that way we'd still get the rivalry. Because the rivalry is not so prevalent now, but could you imagine if there was a prevalent rivalry in the series? Maybe not between Goku and Vegeta, but Goten and Trunks, but technically it's just Goku and Vegeta's rivalry being played out through their kids? That would be cool. It would give Goten and Trunks something to do. I would love that. I would want them in the series more if they did that, but they've just wasted them every opportunity they have. But when they introduce Beerus gets a lot of love in these panels. The drawing of him is very awesome. They got all this stuff in the drawings with him, the weird aliens, the decor, space. It's all cool looking. It's nice. They didn't even give Goku and Goten this much love earlier. I mean, everything kind of looked nice in the farm and stuff, but there wasn't as much like attention to detail. Beerus is getting a really good reveal in this manga, and it goes on for a few pages. His very small paneled, going back and forth, him learning that he got poisoned and deciding to blow up this planet. It all happens quick, but it's not. Like, they didn't need any really wide open shots for this, and they didn't give him any. They didn't waste the page with that. They tried to give him a condensed story. They tried to do it as much as possible. I don't think it worked. That these few pages work really pretty well for the manga. Alright, when we cut back to Goku and Goten, they're getting Goku's money problems solved within the same issue that it was brought up. So that's a lot of tension kind of thrown out the window. And that's kind of sad. I mean, why even bring it up? They could have just done this, said, okay, like, they could have done this part, like, this could have been yesterday. They could have said, oh, Mr. Satan brought $1 million, or $1 million zenny to Goku, and now he's off training, and we don't get to see it. Like, who cares? Who needs to see this? I mean, it's a nice little bonding moment between Goten and Goku, but I kind of wish that they could have these moments involve actually, like, training, or maybe the, real important things that happen in the series. And the whole entire chapter kind of ends up with the Kais learning that, Beerus is out and about doing things, and they're worried. They're like, oh, I got a bad feeling about this. He's out there doing whatever. Like, we've never brought this up before, but, now it seems to be an issue. Now that Z's over, I guess. After reading this, actually, I've read a few chapters, but when I thought about things that I needed to say in regards to the manga, I find that I could, if I did the first 5 chapters or something, to try to catch up to the tournament in one video, it'd be like an hour-long video. This seems to be a companion piece to the anime. Like every other anime I've read has been where, the anime would be being written, like in Shonen Jump issues, and then the people working on the anime would come up from behind and kind of fill in the episodes, and some are better than others. Like there's Bleach, which would be a very bad example. There was Naruto, which is kind of up and down. One Piece, I think, is probably the best at doing this so far, where their anime is not hindered, getting its legs broken because it's catching up to the manga. But this came out, I don't know exactly what the timeline was between this and the anime, because I think it came out after. I know it came out after the movie. So it seems like they're taking out things from the manga. I guess the opposite. Like where the anime would have to add padding in in order to like lengthen the episode time out so they don't catch up to the manga as fast. This seems like it's trying to take out things to shorten an anime episode down into manga form. Like it's doing the opposite, because there are things here that are kind of important that are completely left out. Beerus is sleeping, not a thing in the manga. Doesn't happen so far. But it explains everybody is kind of like everybody seems to know who Beerus is, like all the gods and whatever. But they don't ever bring him up. They don't talk about him because he's been out of the game for so long that they're like, is he dead? Who knows? They don't even know. His being asleep and not being out and being active makes sense. It fits that perfectly. It doesn't really make sense in any other way. So in order to shrink the amount of story they had to shove into the manga, they got rid of that. And I think it's to its detriment, because it makes sense in the anime. So I'm kind of curious about where it's going to go further, how many more things they're going to take out, how many more things they're going to shorten, because we also don't know anything about like Bulma's party and stuff like that, which should be happening around this time too. So I'm guessing they're probably just going to jump into that and just be like, surprise, it's a party, we're not going to tell you about it until you're basically in it, but we'll see. Like, when it comes to manga, my experience basically just boils down to a few anime series. Like, I've read the entirety of Bleach. I've read all of Naruto. I haven't watched the anime of all of it, but I have read the manga of Naruto all the way through. I want to start doing My Hero Academia. I have not read it, but I've watched that anime. I have not read very many anime or mangas. My experience with them is kind of limited, but I've definitely seen some very impressive, good, cool stuff. And this, being drawn by Toritaro, is pretty good as a starting point, drawing-wise. Story-wise, it just looks like they're copying and pasting off of what was going on in the anime and trying to get it out as fast as humanly possible. I've also heard that the manga diverts from the anime quite a bit, so it being a companion piece to the anime probably is going to come into question, and I'm going to try to figure out where exactly that would be. But for now, I'm going to put Dragon Ball Super Manga 1 in the books, and you will see 2 or maybe 3 in my next video, because there's a lot less that I'd have to bring up there in regards to my manga. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked what you've seen here, then leave me a like, or if you hated it, you can leave me a dislike, or if you want to see more, subscribe, and you'll see more soon enough. I've got weekly episode recaps going on, and now I'm going to be doing weekly manga recaps until I'm caught up. And any other video that comes to mind, probably once a week, that too. And thank you very much for watching.